one of these where I rock and roll some. Oh, keep it wrong. Keep it wrong. Yeah, keep it wrong.
And I'm Terry Durkash, and together we are the founders of Hookist. And how lucky are we to have Mr. Chris Barron, multi-platinum artist, Grammy nominee, Mr. Great Guy.
Pretty sexy for a 48-year-old.
Pretty sexy, very sexy for a 48-year-old. Thank you all for coming, and thank you especially Chris. You rock, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. No, it's a pleasure.
Really
It's been really cool getting to know what you guys are doing, and you guys are a force to be reckoned with. This is definitely, absolutely one of the most unique songwriting experiences. What I loved about the Hookist experience is that Hookist itself is sort of this intense idea engine, because you have all these ideas just coming at you. There's everybody, you make a video and you're like, okay guys, here's the idea for the song. And then it's just like, you open up the chat window thing. Because I don't know anything about technical stuff. But, all of a sudden in front of me, there's, 100 ideas for the first line of the song.
Can we tell everyone what your idea for the song was?
And I was like, God, I got nothing to do, but I'm always frantic. And I was like, oh, there's our song idea right there. I think the thing that really emerged, the theme that emerged was showing rather than telling. And it's one of those writing cliches that it's a cliche because it's just so true. So when you see beginners writing songs, they have a lot of lines that are like talking about how they feel. I feel really bad, or I look really good, or and when you say something, when you make an assertion like that, then the listener has basically like the choice to believe you or not believe you. But if you show something, rather than saying like I feel really bad, you say the vultures of tomorrow are devouring my yesterday. You're like, just came up with that off the top of my head. I got a million of them. There's more where that came from.
You're one of those guys.
If you say something like that, then the listener has no choice. You're not in control entirely of what they're thinking. That's open to all kinds of interpretations, but you can be certain that they're going to get the impression that it's not like easy like a Sunday morning, which is another great showing line. Easy like a Sunday morning, that's the kind of line where, you listen to a line like that and you are going to get an impression. It's open to interpretation, but you're going to be able to shepherd the listener into the direction of the mood that you're at least going for. And then you're going to have like a decent lyric.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Oh shit, I got it too. I've got nothing to do, but I'm always frantic. And I look pretty cool, but I sound pedantic. Backhand hologram, focus fractured like a slow-mo Romeo, bending over backwards. I'm a tin man, oil can, nowhere to stand. I got nowhere to be, but here I am. The things that you, I, the trouble that are your mind. Can't breathe, can't leave, can't cry. The wings that she fly, the bubble that they're dive, in the pool reflection wavers like a slave in the cave of my own behavior. I've got nothing to say, but I'm always talking. And I've got no sway, but I'm sure I'm rocking. Cast aside bauble, rusting in the dirty cobbles. I got a million ideas, not one of them is novel. I'm a black sheep, blue streak, last one to the dance. Every look I get is a little scant. The things that we, you, I, the trouble that are your mind. Can't breathe, can't leave, can't cry. The wings that she fly, the bubble that they're dive. In the full reflection wave is like a slave in the cave of my own behavior. Currency of time splits the highway line, dulling the edge of the monster that sleeps in my mind. Feeding the imposter feathers of lead, caught between the plastic and the stone that's bled. The things that we, you, I, the trouble that are your mind. Can't breathe, can't leave, can't cry. The wings that she fly, the bubble that they're dive. Fool in the pool, reflection wave is like a cave in the grave of my own behavior. Things that we, you, I, the trouble that are your mind. What key is it in? I don't know. There we go. Banging through it. No, it's all, I mean, we all wrote this together. We all wrote this. I enjoy just kind of like just being almost like a school teacher, like a creative writing teacher. And you know, I had the best English teacher in middle school. His name was Eugene Doherty, and he fought in World War II as a Marine. He stormed the beach at Iwo Jima and got like his arm blown off from here. We called him the one-armed bandit. And he was really into fly fishing and Ernest Hemingway. So he would tie his own flies. He would tie his own flies. He had like a hook. He had this like, 20th century prosthetic. It was this weird like nylon stump where you could see like the threads of the fiberglass like coming through it. And then it was just this hook that went like this. And when he got mad at you, he'd like yell at you and point like the hook in your face, or else like the hook would start to hurt him, so he'd take it off and he would yell at you and point like the stump with the weird scar in your face, like yelling at you. But he was the best storyteller, and he was so charismatic. And he would sit in class and he would tie flies with a hook at his left hand. He was right-handed, so he lost his main hand. And he would tie these flies and tell us stories, like these beautiful, long, flowing stories about fly fishing in Vermont, and describing like the hills and his old friend and the face of his friend, and telling us how to describe stuff, and telling us how to show stuff, telling us how to set up a description, start with a detail, and then like move back and make your picture bigger and bigger, or start with a great big picture and move in and close in on a detail. he was just, this amazing character. So I kind of felt like Eugene. I felt like huge, like sitting there, like going through all of your stuff. Recently I found a little essay that I wrote. I barely remember writing it, but we were supposed to write about our first love. So I wrote this thing about this girl I knew in whatever, when I was really young, but it was sort of fictionalized, and I was like 12 or 13 when I wrote this, and I wrote, at night he would lay on his back and think about her, and I was like 13, so I thought I invented masturbation. I thought that was like deep
It was you?
encryption. I thought that was like so encrypted that like no one was ever gonna like get that. It was like my own private thing that I had done with just me in the darkness, and I found this a little while ago in an old drawer, and I pulled it out, and he used to write in blue fountain pen, and he was writing with his left hand, so with this very distinctive handwriting. It was neat, but kind of spidery and crazy. So next to that line, he had written, "Yeah!" Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And when I saw the paper, I remembered getting that back and just being like, oh my God, he knows what I'm doing. But as an adult, and as whatever, as a writer, as a grown up, mature writer, I looked at that and I loved it that he just was like, what he saw was something honest and visceral and truthful, And so he just responded. He didn't respond like some moralizing, referee that was supposed to be deciding what I was thinking. He just responded like a writer, writer to writer, The question of the nature of collaboration is really, really interesting, because I write songs alone and I write songs with other people, and I feel like I've had really great results both ways, stuff I've written by myself and stuff I've written with other people. And at best, when you're collaborating, you are strengthening everybody else's strengths in the room. You're helping people to you're taking their ideas and you're nurturing them into better ideas, and you're melding your ideas with their ideas, and you're all carrying the torch a little farther and acting like a team. I had a pretty rough time growing up, and my dad was married to this woman who kind of hated my guts, and I did not have an easy time. So music was my refuge. So I know as well as anybody, I think that maybe because I'm in this position of I'm the guy who's moderating this whole thing, maybe it seems like I'm a uniformly strong person, but I've gotten my fucking ass kicked in my life, and on many, many occasions, and had my heart broken again and again and again, and just like anybody, and but I'm the same way, Arnold Palmer, who passed away last night, the same way he wanted to be the guy standing over the putt, to win the Masters, I want to be the guy who's in the room with the person who's wants to write the song of their life. I feel very much at home. So I loved that. I loved that people were pouring out their hearts, and I just think it's really impressive that you guys have created an online environment where that's really safe, because you just see so much nastiness in the world and on the internet. So it's I suppose I wanted to do the very best that I could with all these lovely, heartwarming ideas that people were giving of themselves. But in my case, I didn't really feel a lot of pressure, because I feel very at home in that. That's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. An insight that I'm just having right now is I think one of the things that's so effective about it as a teaching tool is that when I'm writing a song, I'm thinking about the whole song, but I'm writing it word by word and line by line. And that's so fundamental. That's such an important, when you talk about gaining any kind of a broad skill, the fundamentals are so important. And just lines, constructing a line, constructing a couplet, that's, if you can you're way better off concentrating on learning how to write great lines than you are trying to think about writing great songs. Because if you can write 24 great lines, you can have a great song.
So, Little Miss Can't Be Wrong had to be about an ex, right?
See, people always think that. People always think A Little Miss Can't Be Wrong is about, like, you know, an ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife, and I definitely have plenty of those.
And just to say that was kind of going off like the personal feelings, you know.
Yeah, no, people always think
you
that.
write about, like, you have in Hookist, you have all these lyrics that, like, you write a song, Little Miss Can't Be Wrong, might be about something personal, but everyone, like, with Hookist, you're just kind of gathering all these personal feelings together.
Well, to go back to the Little Miss Can't Be Wrong question, it's about my dad's ex-wife. It's about my ex-stepmother.
Oh, yeah.
So...
So
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't get mad.
That's good.
Write a hit song.
Right. That's playing it.
There you go.
You know, that song is full of imagery. That song is like, she holds the shotgun while you do-si-do. You know, she wants one man made of Hercules and Cyrano, you know. So, like, basically, like, I didn't succeed in making you think about my stepmother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it did make you, I did succeed in, like, in creating this, like, femme fatale, you know, figure that you were going to have, like, an opinion about, you know? Won't you, princess, me before you? That's what I said now, princess, princess who adore you. Go ahead now, for lunch, diamonds in his pockets, and that's some bread now. This one, he wants to buy you rockets, ain't you listen now? Hey, this one got princely racket. That's what I said now. Got some pixie love on his jacket. Ain't you listen now? You're the rain from the roof condone you. How about that now? You're the Remy from the roof to show you. The little hat now. Marry him from the Remy. I don't know when to look at that, but can't you see? I ain't got no future. I'm feeling the treatment. I know where the person lover ought to be. I know where the person lover ought to be. Said if you want to call me baby, go ahead now. But if you like to tell me baby, go ahead now. But if you want to buy me flowers, go ahead now. But if you like to duck the hours, go ahead now. To call me baby, and if you like to tell me maybe, huh?
Just go ahead
And if you want to buy me flowers,
Just go ahead
and if you like to talk for hours,
Just go ahead now.
and if you want to call me baby, and if you like to tell me maybe,
Go ahead now.
and if you're the Miami Flowers,
Go ahead now.
go ahead now, baby. You want to talk for hours? Come on, come on, come on, just go ahead now. Come on, go ahead now, baby. Go
coming tonight.